Hi guys, welcome over to ScreenTalk. Today's episode we're going to focus on Dragon Ball Super Broly, one of the best Dragon Balls movies. I was going to say best Dragon Ball Super movie, but there's only two, so it's really not a contender because as much as I like superhero, it still wasn't as good as Broly. Because Cell Max was just not a good villain. But there are very good Dragon Ball Z movies out there, but Dragon Ball Super Broly stands out because they changed the animation style. I know they changed it again for superhero, but at the time, this was the first time they dipped into new animation for the movies, and it looked amazing. They showed off the character designs, they showed off King Vegeta, Bardock, Broly's new design, Paragus' new design, Whis even looked better, Beerus looked better in this kind of design. Gogeta, we get Gogeta again, and everything just looks a lot better in this stylized, kind of like hand drawn looking style of animation, and it does suit the Dragon Ball franchise. It's really nice, it looks really cool. But like I said, the character design amazing, off the charts. I mean, I didn't really care for the old Broly design. It was just a big guy with a big necklace. And they kind of took parts of that. So instead of having a red shirt or robe wrapped around him, he's got Bar's ear, as they call it, which was a big monster on Vampa where he got sent as a kid. We will talk more about that in a second. And it's a green pelt around his waist. He's using the old Saiyan armor. The new Saiyan armor that the Frieza Force gives him. Same with Paragus. They still don't. The necklace isn't what controls him anymore. They've still got this stupid looking thing like a back chain lock around his neck that shocks him. So it's kind of the same thing. Like Broly's power needs to be checked, and they have to shock him to keep him in check and everything like that. But the whole Broly thing is a lot better as well, because instead of, oh, I'm angry at you, Kakarot, because you cried when you were a baby, it's, we hate King Vegeta because he tried to kill me, he exiled me, he sent me to Vampa, I had to kill things, I had to kill my best friend, which was a giant monster, and my dad trained me and was horrible to me, and this is all your fault, King Vegeta, because you was scared of me being better than, your son. So it kind of does a really, really good job of why Broly would want to fight Vegeta in this movie, and obviously why he fights Goku and everything like that. But it also does a good job of giving Broly a better arc all in all. Like, we see that he actually does care for something. He cared for Bar. He didn't want to kill Bar, which was this big green monster thing. It was just that his dad shot its ear off, so Bar started attacking them again, because Paragus wanted Broly to always be training to be stronger than Prince Vegeta. Then we get a little story about him on the ship, where we see Paragus use the shock treatment and everything, and they kind of talk about how Broly doesn't know how to control his rage, everything like that, and we kind of see that in a backstory as well from Planet Vegeta, which is a nicely animated looking beautiful palace over a water. It's just beautiful. They did a really cool job. They changed the horrible red look of the planet to a nice blue look. You might notice. All the Saiyans are there looking cool. You've got different types of Saiyans. So not all are warriors. Some are scientists, some are fighter pilots, or that, or whatever you want to call them. And we actually see like the different builds and everything of the same race, and how, yes, they are all warriors, but we actually see how some of them don't care for training and fighting and just want to build ships or fix them and stuff like that. And it's a really interesting part to see. So during this flashback to Planet Vegeta, we kind of get the first interaction between the Saiyans and Frieza. So King Cold arrives and says the Cold Force is now becoming the Frieza Force, which is pretty cool, and Frieza introduces himself in the natural fashion of any Dragon Ball fashion. Hello, and then he says, I'm not gonna say it because it kind of sounds racist on a podcast, so I'm not gonna say it. But you get this evil twine, and he's like, "Oh, I brought you all a present," and he gifts out these new scouters, 500 of them. He puts one on, and he sees that the Saiyans actually have rifles trained on them. And Frieza just demonstrates his power just by shooting them down one by one and saying, this is who I am. You're working for me now, and you're going to have to like it. And then we get a time skip of, I think it's 5 years, and we see the Frieza Force bigger than ever, and all the Saiyans returning to Planet Vegeta after going out and conquering planets. And we finally get to see Bardock. Now, he has changed. He doesn't have his red headband or black Saiyan armor, and I really like that he doesn't, because it shows that the Saiyans got their armor from themselves and not really the Frieza Force, and the Frieza Force kind of adapted their armor. So he's wearing the same armor that Nappa actually is wearing in the original Dragon Ball, near enough. Sorry, Dragon Ball Z. Can't say Dragon Ball because that is the original thing. And we see that Bardock's returning, and he has this thought of, why is Frieza wanting us to return to Planet Vegeta? Why is he called all the Saiyans back? It's not like they need all the Saiyans for a single thing. You need like 6 or 7 at most, ever. So Bardock kind of thinks that Frieza is there to get rid of him because he's scared of the legendary Super Saiyan God. We kind of get this interaction between Frieza's employer and Frieza himself, and he's like, "Oh, we haven't tracked down a Super Saiyan or a Super Saiyan God," and it's the first time you actually hear these mentioned. So we now know that Frieza actually knew of the Super Saiyan God before Goku and Beerus and everything like that. And obviously we got in another movie that, or it might have been a series, sorry, might have been the series where we get that Frieza was actually allowed to blow up Planet Vegeta on behalf of Lord Beerus, and that also is something they're hiding from Vegeta. I think if Vegeta found out, he'd want to kick the living hell out of Beerus, as well as Frieza. So we get back to Planet Vegeta. Bardock goes to see his wife Guinea, who is Kakarot's mum, and we finally get to see an interaction between them both being kind of normal people, showing that Saiyans also care for the family, where she's cooking and he's out there making money fighting, everything like that. And he says, "Oh, how's Kakarot?" And she's like, "Oh, well, he's still in the nursing pod, and he looks so small." And Bardock's like, "Oh, I'm not going to let them decide that he's a lower class warrior. I'm going to send him away because I'm also scared that Frieza is planning something." So they go and steal a pod, and in the middle of the night they send Kakarot off. Now Bardock kind of says, "I've found this planet called Earth where he will grow up, and it's a nice planet, it's not really valuable, so no one will look for him, and everything like that." They program the pod in to go to Earth. We see Goku in Saiyan armor as he leaves, so I don't get how they kind of retracted that information of him turning up naked as a baby. He's kind of able to walk and stand at this point that they send him off. So I kind of like that they are retracing their steps and doing that, because it does make more sense for that to happen like that, where Goku kind of might remember his mum and dad, but the bump to his head kind of got rid of that. And we get this nice heartfelt moment where Bardock's like, "I just want to save him. I've been destroying things. I just wanted to save him. If we're wrong, we'll go pick him up. Don't worry about that." So Kakarot flies away in his pod, and then we see that Frieza is now ready and starts attacking Planet Vegeta and fires one of his death balls straight at the planet to blow it up. And we get the scene where Bardock is out in space somehow, because Saiyans can now breathe in space apparently, which apparently only Frieza's species was his only ever to do until now. So they're kind of doing that as a Saiyan thing. And then we get Bardock getting disintegrated in the blast, and the whole Saiyan race looking up in shock that this ball of pure energy is about to hit the planet, and we see all the shock on the faces, and then we just see the power level count go to 0, and Frieza's like, yeah, we've done it. Now we don't need to worry. My forces are cut in half, but we can always rebuild. Then we get this little shot of Raditz and Vegeta as a kid. Vegeta just being the punk ass, like, oh, I'll never get to be king. And Raditz like, yeah, I had a brother. They sent him somewhere in a pod. Don't care. And we get Nappa with her, which is really creepy. Then we get to later stages where Broly is found by Planet? Broly is found on Planet Vegeta by the Frieza Force. Sorry, I burped there. Woof, that was stinky. By the Frieza Force. And they take him back to Frieza, and Frieza kind of says, wait, you're Saiyans, aren't you? Do you do this? Do you do that? And he says, oh, I sense some unnatural energy coming from you, you know, like a latent power that's suppressed. And we kind of get this whole story of Broly gets suppressed power from Paragus by shocking him, and he's really, really strong, stronger than Prince Vegeta, apparently, but Paragus, Broly don't know about the Super Saiyan transformations yet, or anything like that. So, Frieza heads to Earth, as he's got 2 people on Earth collecting Dragon Balls. And we get this whole funny segment of Frieza is going to wish to be 5 centimeters taller, so that no one notices it looks like he's still growing. And we also get, like, Bulma wants to be 5 years younger, whatever. It's a nice comparison to see that the Dragon Balls are used for silly wishes sometimes, instead of like, oh, bring this person back to life. Then they land on Earth with the Dragon Balls. Goku and Vegeta turn up to stop them, and Broly just straight up attacks Vegeta because he's like urging to get to him. He's like, yeah, you ruined my life, I'm gonna get you. And we get this greatly animated, greatly stylized battle against Vegeta and Broly. We see the music come on, and I love how they do it like a Tekken Street Fighter thing, and they're like, Broly, Vegeta, and everything like that when the characters are fighting, and it's like, we get this little Broly, and it's just crazy to think that that is actually in a Dragon Ball thing now. And so we get the battle between them two. Then obviously Goku steps in. They have a battle against him. Now we get a new move from Goku where he is able to stop Broly in his tracks using his God Ki. And he literally just stops her and he's like, Broly, I can tell you're not a bad person. I can tell that you're just angry. Your rage is controlling you. I think we can be friends. And we kind of get this sense that Goku's wanting to have Broly as a friend like he did with Vegeta and everything. He turned Vegeta from asshole to a good guy. Everything like that. It's what Goku does. We get this cool thing where Broly then just annihilates Goku, starts smashing him around, Goku's screaming, and then we get the good old, yes, we can't beat him one-on-one, let's just take him down together. They still can't do it. So whilst they're trying to take him down together, the planet's getting destroyed in the process, and they're fighting, and Goku says, right, it's time. So they kind of fight, they lead Broly over to Frieza, and Broly just punches Frieza and then annihilates him and starts battering Frieza. And it's just great to see. One thing I did miss is Frieza being the sneaky little devil that he is, and shooting Paragus and saying that he got hit by a random energy blast so that Broly would tap into his untapped power and become a Super Saiyan. Then after that, they kind of, like I said, they trade him for Frieza as they learn the fusion dance. Now, another interesting bit is how long Frieza stays as Golden Frieza. So, in Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F and in the Super thing series, we know that Frieza can't maintain his golden form for that long because it uses too much energy and he's not used to it. But in this movie, we get a little parallel of, oh, they've done the fusion wrong, you have to wait for 30 minutes. Oh, we've done it wrong again, you have to wait another 30 minutes. So Frieza actually lasts in his golden form for a good hour. Now, in Dragon Ball, we all know that the fights are sped up for our entertainment, because we get that in the next movie where it's like a fight between Trunks and Frieza over in 2 seconds instead of like 5 minutes. So we all know that they're slowed down, for us, not sped up. So as their thing, they finally get the thing and they're like, oh, what shall we call us? Gogeta or Kakago? And all that. And then they settle on Gogeta, and we get Gogeta finally entering the frame and transporting instant transmission straight to Broly. And we get this beautiful fight again. Once again, the animation kind of steps up again here, and we get beautiful colors, them literally going into a parallel dimension, they're fighting that hard and everything like that. It's crazy, and we get Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, and it just shows that he's just far better than Vegeta as is, because Vegeta in the Super series actually has a time limit of an hour now. For the Potara who aren't Kais, they don't stay together forever. But their power is so great as in Vegeta and Gogeta that it actually makes the time a lot shorter, where the fusion dance still lasts for half an hour. So we kind of know that Gogeta is actually the better fusion. We now understand that it's a more viable solution for them because it can handle all the power of Goku and Vegeta together and not dampen the time limit. And so we get these cool energy blasts where it's like colourful rainbow shit. I can't remember what the attacks are called. I did know, but I don't anymore. I kind of forgot about that bit. And we get the, right, it's time to end this fight. And we even sense that Gogeta is now ready to kill Broly because of the Vegeta side in him. So he charges up his Kamehameha, he goes, and while this is happening, the two other Frieza Force members, I don't remember the name, I think one's called Chile or something like that, they find the Dragon Balls, they wish for Broly to be sent back to Vampa, and just as Gogeta releases his Kamehameha, Broly is then sent back to Vampa and he's safe, and they leave, and they're like, oh well, we're on the run now, at least we got Broly to protect us. And we get this segment of they're living on Vampa now, they're trying all the food that Broly's been eating, and they're like, wait, this is what you've been eating? And they're like, nope, not gonna do it. And then we hear a familiar voice of Goku showing up on Planet Vampa. Because just before we hear his voice, we now get that Broly can sense energy as well, because he just goes, someone's here. And that's the first time like a person had been able to do that straight away after a fight, because it took Frieza a while to learn that trick apparently. It also took Goku and Vegeta a while to learn that trick. But then we get the nice Goku where he's like, oh, I wasn't gonna kill you. This is what I want. I want you to train with me. I brung all this food, this house, everything. You can stay here. You're more than welcome to come back. Everything like that. And then they go, oh, well, who are you? And he goes, well, I'm Goku, but Broly, you can call me Kakarot. And the movie ends on that, and it's like, yes, we get the friendship of the Saiyans where he knows that Vegeta calls him Kakarot because that is his Saiyan name. So he's like to Broly, you're a Saiyan, you can call me that. That is fine. And the movie's just so great. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you do. It's actually a really good Dragon Ball movie. And it's so beautiful, stylized, like I keep saying. But it's just one of those where it's like, no, I wasn't expecting much from it. From the original Broly movies were shocking. You see, the first one was good, but it's like, oh, Kakarot, I hate you because you cry. Yeah. But this one had a better arc, better story, better stylized animation, better feel to it, better reasonings behind the attack, better plotting by Frieza. Frieza's meant to be this like evil, villainous lord who plans things, and we now find out that he's sending lower class warriors, so Goku and Vegeta can't send them to Earth to collect the Dragon Balls, and that's a really smart play from Frieza. And we don't really get that many. As much as he's alive and well and all that lot. But yeah, if you want to know what I thought about Dragon Ball Super Superhero, my first episode of ScreenTalk was actually on this. So please go check that out. If you did like this episode of ScreenTalk, please do like, subscribe, and tune in for more. This is a podcast, I get that. I'm currently waiting to be taken online by Apple Podcasts and everything like that. So for now, it's kind of just a video format on YouTube, where I just talk and I create a nice little video that's not needed to watch. It's just there because of YouTube. But thank you for watching, guys. Like I said, if you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, and tune in for more. Thank you and goodbye.